Lesson 78, products of square roots. So remember square root symbol, that means it's a radical. And we are multiplying the radicand, the number that's inside each of them, and then you simplify it from there. So the square root of 2 times the square root of 6, 6 times 2 is 12, so the square root of 12, you can prime factorize that. That can be broken down as the square root of 4 times the square root of 3. The square root of 4 is 2. 2 times the square root of 3 would be our answer. So let's take a look at some other examples here. It says find the length and width of this rectangle and then find its area. So if we look at here, we can just create two triangles, one here and then one here. And we can just find the base. So to do that, I'm going to erase this so you can see our lines. So from this point, we have 1, 2, 3. So this is a base of 3. And then we went up 1, 2, 3. So it's 3. So we're going to use a Pythagorean theorem because with right triangles, the base is 3, the height is 3. So we have 3 squared plus 3 squared has to equal c squared. This will equal 18 equals c squared. To find out what c is, you find the square root. So we would have the square root of 18 for one side, the length. So this is the length. And then the width, this is a 2 by 2. So 2 squared plus 2 squared equals c squared. So this would be 8 equals c squared. Find the square root of both sides. You get the width equaling the square root of 8. Now we need to simplify this. This would be like the square root of 9 times the square root of 2, which will give us 3 times the square root of 2 as our length. 8 would be the square root of 4 times the square root of 2, which will give us 2 times the square root of 2. To find an area of a rectangle, you take our length, 3 times the square root of 2, times our width, 2 times the square root of 2, and get our answer. So 3 times 2 is 6. The square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is the square root of 4. The square root of 4 is 2. So we would have an area of 12, and this would be square units. Next one, find the area of square PQRS, or find the area of square PQRS is what percent of the area of square ABCD. This should actually just be the area of square PQRS is what percent of the area of ABCD. We need to find the area of the smaller square and the area of the larger square. So we can use the Pythagorean theorem to find the smaller one. And so this bottom is 2, this top one, 1, 2, 3 is 3. So we got 2 squared plus 3 squared equals c squared. So 4 plus 9, 4 plus 9 will be 13. Find the square root of that, so that would be square root of 13. And then we have square root of 13. Since it's a square, we know that all the sides are the square root of 13. So the area, square root of 13 times the square root of 13 equals, whenever you multiply a radical by itself, it becomes what's on the inside. So that will give us 13. The bigger one, we know that the base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 5 by 5. So 5 squared would give us 25. So the area of the smaller one is what percent of the smaller one. So we're going from small to big. If I do the 3 over 25. Do the division. 13 divided by 25 gives you 0.52, which is 52%. Next one, simplify these. So I'm going to break this down first as the square root of 4 times the square root of 3. Square root of 4 is 2. Now I have the square root of 3 times the square root of 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is square root of 9. Square root of 9 is 3. This would give us an answer of 6. This one, square root of 7 times the square root of 2 times the square root of 3. There's your 42, because 7 times 6 is 42. This one, I would have the square root of 4 times the square root of 2 times the square root of 3, because 4 times 6 is 24. And now I can simplify. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. And all I have left is the square root of 7. 4 times 3 is 12. So 12 times the square root of 7 would be our answer. So I'm just breaking it down with prime numbers or perfect squares, because if I find a partner, I can multiply those by each other and get the radicand. Next one, I'm going to multiply this. Multiply the outside, so 3 times 1 gives us 3, and 6 times 15, 6 times 15 gives us a 90. But before I do that, let's break down 6. That's b square root of 2 times the square root of 3, and 15 is the square root of 5 times the square root of 3. The reason why I'm breaking it down is because I can see I have partners here. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. So I can multiply that 3. And all I have left now is the square root of 2 times the square root of 5, which is the square root of 10. My answer would be 3 times 3 is 9 times the square root of 10. Next, square root of 2 times the square root of 14. Break this down as the square root of 2 times the square root of 7. Square root of 2 times the square root of 2 equals 2 times the square root of 7. Same thing with this one, square root of 5 times the square root of 3. And then I'm multiplying this by the square root of 3. These two are partners, that becomes 3. And all I have left is the square root of 5. Over here, square root of 5 times square root of 5 is 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 3 gives us 30. Find the length of side of the square with vertices at 5, 4, 1, 5, 0, 1, 4, 0. So if I were to draw a triangle, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1. So 4 squared plus 1 squared equals c squared. So 16 plus 1 is 17, so the square root of 17. Down here it's 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So square root of 17. This would also be a square root of 17. So square root of 17 times square root of 17 gives us 17 square units. That's the beauty of using squares. You just need to find one side and then multiply it by itself. And the last one here, find the area of the rectangle where vertices at 0, 5, 3, 1, negative 1, negative 1, negative 3, negative 4, 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, So we got 4 squared plus 2 squared equals c squared. So 16 plus 4 is 20. C squared, that means the square root gives us the square root of 20. And over here we got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 6 squared plus 3 squared equals c squared. 36 plus 9. 36 plus 9 would give us 45. 45 equals c squared. Find the square root of both sides. This would be the square root of 45. Find the area of this. I'm just going to break down the square root of 45, which would be the square root of 9 times the square root of 5, which is 3 times the square root of 5. Square root of 20 would be the square root of 4 times the square root of 5, which will give us 2 times the square root of 5. So if I take 2 times the square root of 5 times 3 times the square root of 5, these two give us 5. These two give us 6. So 6 times 5 gives us 30. So as our lesson today on products of square roots.